Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome aboard the Scanlon train. We're going to talk about other stuff than just that one pension thing. But you always want to have a good title to say, wow, should people take the pension or take the annuity or take the lump sum? And this is without question, you take the pension. So we'll get in that here just real quick. So I missed Saturday. Again, we're going to be going back on live streaming on YouTube every Saturday night. It occurred to me the reason my views are down, I just forgot about that, is because I don't do streams on or videos on Sundays anymore. And Sundays used to be one of my better days to get videos views. So if you're factoring losing 15,000 views a day on a Sunday, times 4, that's 15 times that's 60,000 views a week essentially. So and that a month, and so that's the one of the reasons my views are down. It occurred to me, and I'm very comfortable with that. I mean, God. I want to keep the Sabbath as best I can. That's it's very, very important, actually, in my opinion, to keep the Sabbath, regardless of what Paul said. Paul, but now look, do I do it? Am I perfect at it? Of course not. Are you perfect at anything you do? Of course not. But to recognize that the Sabbath is a holy time of thoughts, of prayers, of just getting back right with God, and recognize that God's going to take care of things. Even if your views go down, it doesn't matter. God's in charge. Let's say a prayer in that regard too. Dear Heavenly Father, we're just so grateful to be gathered here to glorify you in all things we do. May we always remember you're in charge. We are here to serve you, to glorify you, to love you, and we know you love us as individual human beings. We know you created us in your image. We know all people are blessed. All people, regardless of their certain circumstance in life, all people are blessed. All people are forgiven. All people, Jesus died for all people. Just may we always remember to glorify you in all things we do. We pray in Jesus' name. Amen. All right. So God is good always. So offensive. I didn't realize it was going to be a sermon. Get out of here. Get out of here. So any of you guys, moderators, people act a fool, get them out of here. By the way, Jill and I have been emailing back and forth. There is a guy that I was watching this Reacher show on Amazon. It's okay. It's a little bit over the top for me, but it's okay. I got done just watching the Terror, which was fantastic. I love that very, very much. That was great. And I was just looking for a new show to watch, and we got watching the Reacher, and they had this who was this guy? Howard Tate. Man, this guy just freaking, Howard Tate, an old black guy. I'm certainly from the South, from the 50s and 60s. My goodness, I emailed Jill and she emailed me someone she was listening to, and I forgot who that was. But man, so I've just got this. So my YouTube thing here, my YouTube music thing. I put Howard Tate, and it's called "Get It While You Can," "Ain't Nobody Home," "Girl of the North Country," just all kinds of stuff. This guy, his singing is just freaking incredible. They got horns in there and everything. And then so YouTube creates this playlist like Wilson Pickett. I never knew how good. I mean, I've heard, of course, of Wilson Pickett. I never knew how good that guy sang. Man, my goodness. What the hell ever happened to black music like that? What the hell is the crap that's out there now? I mean, we say the same thing about white rockers. I get it. But I mean, the level of God's glory in that black music, it's freaking insane. And have that go to where we are today, it's just just the state of our country, man. It's a freaking clown show. Nothing is good about that hip hop that's out there today. Oh, you're white boomer, man. Look, if you don't call me racist, you're not trying. If you're not called racist, you're not trying hard enough. I don't care. That stuff is horrible. Yeah, grew up in Motown. I mean, my goodness. There's like a block there in Motown. I was reading someplace the other day, a couple of years ago, and I don't think MC5 was from there, but it's all these, like, I think it was Aretha Franklin stuff. There's like a block there in Motown had just these insane dudes and dudettes there. It's insane how good that stuff is, and to have that to what we have today, it's friggin' evil, man. The Klan won. There's no other way around that. And the Philadelphia, I'm not all that familiar with the Philadelphia sound. I don't know it. I mean, I imagine I am just by name. If you name some guys and ladies who sung, I just don't know. The Spinners. Okay, there you go. Right on. All right, yeah, I did not know that. Oh man. So when I was growing up in high school in DC, they had this music called go-go music. It was like black percussion, basses, horns, like Chuck Brown, the Soul Searchers, a band called Rare Essence, and it was freaking fantastic. It was fantastic, and that was so it was like go. You might have heard of Experience Unlimited, Doing the Butt. You know, that was like late '80s or something like that. The Temptations, okay, right on. I'm not. I mean, I'm familiar with those bands. I didn't know that's Philadelphia. That's fantastic. Anyway, so go-go music was just it was great, man. These guys are playing just maestros on the instruments. You know, lots of percussion. You know, all that black. You know, like the African percussion is inherent in black people. It's just the other way around. They're just. I mean, it's just that simple. It's great. And then I imagine it's still out there. I don't know. But then it just evolved to that freaking stupid ass hip hop of gangster rap and stuff. And look, some of that I enjoy. I'm not gonna lie to you. And I like the first Ice-T album. I like that. I did like that NWA album, but then it just went to just stupid, man. Tommy Young, the artist I discovered recently. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, right on. So Jill sent me Trouble Funk. Oh yeah, Trouble Funk, right on. Black Scorpion. Hope you said pension. Wish I had one. Black Scorpion. There's used to be a guy I remember from DC Scorpio. I remember that guy. And because they had this huge go-go fest at the Capitol Center in Landover, Maryland, and I didn't go, but I got the I bought the bootleg or whatever it was. It was fantastic. Anyway, it's so sad to see Elena Hopper. So the Temptations. It's the Klan won, dude. It's all there is. It's like the Nazis won. This is all there is to it, man. It's like so damn frustrating. So damn frustrating. And it's just disgusting. It really bothers me. Tom McDonald, white rapper, splits. Yeah, I like Tom McDonald. He's pretty good. I enjoy Tom McDonald quite a bit, actually. And I don't look. I'm not anti-rap. It's freaking whatever that crap is now is stupid. It's just dumb. I mean, it's embarrassing. The best thing about the old rap is, and I don't know if like Ice-T actually wrote his lyrics. I don't know, but whoever was a lyricist, it's just those guys like Eric B. and Rakim. I don't know if y'all, just those guys, the lyrics with the music combined, the flow, it was just incredible, man. I mean, it's talent. And and again, look, I'm an old I don't care. I don't care. I never got a Fats Domino. I'm ignorant of Fats Domino's music, but I love James Brown. Hell, man, freaking James Brown. Man, I'll never forget. Because my parents used to have all kinds of LPs. I just remember like Peter Tosh, and obviously it's not Philadelphia, Peter Tosh and reggae, but I just remember it's like this music is just different. And look, I still love metal. I hate to say hardcore because some of the lyrics are so stupid, but I like the music. I just listened to a Tree right for this old Boston band hardcore band out of Boston called Tree. I just listened to them right before we jumped on here. I mean, I love some bluegrass. I love a lot of different music, but if it's not from the soul, it sucks, dude. And this hip hop that today sucks. The country music that today sucks. The freaking, I don't really follow any modern metal. I do follow some European modern metal. And some of that's pretty good, actually. I'm not going to, I'll take that back about metal. And probably the same thing with some hip hop. There's probably some guys out there who are kicking ass. I don't know who they are, and I don't care to know. But there's some pretty good metal coming out of Europe. Actually, there's some pretty good metal coming out in the United States too. Let me take that back. As I get old hardcore music and punk, it doesn't do anything for me. It's silly. It's like silly stuff at that stage. David Allan Coe, you gotta love some David Allan Coe. Steven Sanchez, not familiar with that. Oh, I do love some freaking not just mariachi music, but like the version Nortes Americano. What the hell is that called? There's a version of Mexican music that Los Lobos played. It's not mariachi music. There's nothing wrong with mariachi music, but there's another kind. I forgot what it's called. Oh, dude. Some of that freaking Mexican music is just, oh, man. God, there's so much good music out there. And the only reason Steven Sanchez sounds like a Spanish name, which made me think, yeah, maybe that's why today's youth are so angry. Yeah, I've heard of Blueberry Hill, of course. Right there. Mumble rap, that's what it's called. Mumble rap, yeah. Yeah, I'd never gotten into Disturbed, Vaughn. The only reason is just because they were so popular that, I'm so I'm like, oh, they're popular. They must suck. And I just never got into them. I probably ought to have. I saw a video on YouTube where a little girl got hurt or something like that at a Disturbed show, and the guy stopped the show. It's pretty cool. So these guys are probably pretty good guys. Yeah, mumble rap. That's so freaking stupid. It's like stupid, and that white people pretend like this is legitimate music. It's a soft bigotry of low expectations, man. And it's coming off like these guys like Howard Tate and Wilson Pickett and saying, well, it's just the music of a generation. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. Everybody knows it. You know it. I know it. It's embarrassingly stupid. And it's just, you're racist if you think that's legit music, because it's not. It's horrible. And the fact that white people are like mimicking this, it's freaking embarrassing. Yeah, all right, Blueberry Hill. I just don't like sweet. Steven Sanchez. Is he white? I mean, is he black? Steven Sanchez? I wonder if I came across that guy. Because there's a black guy I came across, a younger black guy I came across on YouTube who was singing, who was playing a bass, and he was good, man. I enjoyed him. I just can't remember. I almost want to think he's white. Interesting. Anyway, I almost want to think that, I can't remember. Now there's a black guy, and he's almost want to say from Chicago or something like that. Of course, I subscribed to him, but I got 8 million people I've subscribed to. It's crazy. All right. Singing in a Mexican restaurant, being surrounded by a close, will give you a cure of, 100%. Yeah, that's I can't remember I have to check him out. Steven Sanchez says Leisure 057 blank. I can't remember what the kind of Nortes Americano, but that's not what it's called. It's called something else. The Los Lobos, not just La Bamba. I never liked La Bamba, but some of the other stuff is just fantastic. I mean, when they're in Spanish is fantastic. I love it. So this is right here. Steven Sanchez is president of the fan club. Is Leisure 057 blank. Usher is doing halftime. Yeah, I don't even. Is that like? Look, I'm not saying we have to have Bo Cephas. Y'all know who Bo Cephas is, right? But I'm just like, can we just have some legit music without just destroying the culture anymore? It's so bad. I always got a chuckle out of Ice-T remember when what's the guy's name for the Baltimore Ravens Ray Rice? He punches his girlfriend in the elevator or something like that, and everybody and their mom had to jump on some stupid NFL ad like, no, not in my thing, but I would be glad to be president of this fan club right on. Not all these idiots out there, they're just like, don't, basically saying don't beat up women. And I'll never forget, Ice-T was on there, and Ice-T had a lyric in one of his songs off his Ryan Pace album that said, I beat the B down, and he didn't say B, he said the whole thing, the B with an itch. I beat the B itch down in the goddamn street. And I said, wait a second. So Ice-T, and I liked Ice-T. Ice-T was in a metal band too, a Body Count, which I always thought was pretty cool. Ice-T was in the Army, an infantryman. So, I got nothing but respect for Ice-T as a musician, as a man. But I just said, man, you're such a faker. You have this lyric says, beat the B itch down in the goddamn street. Now you're telling everybody else. What the hell's that? You ever gonna disown your previous freaking violence towards women? No. I mean, come on. And I like the fact that Ice Cube seems to be supporting more, open to supporting Trump as over Sniffy Joe. But, Ice Cube has some serious racial stuff, dude, back then, his lyrics. And then Tucker Carlson was interviewing Ice Cube. I appreciate that. But it's like, wait, freaking the Koreans will know the black fist and stuff. And I was like, wait a second. Are we ever apologizing? And maybe he did. I don't know. I don't follow it. But it's like, how come you guys get to say that? But some white guy, we had a guy in Youth Defense League. There's an old band called Youth Defense League from the 80s in New York City. And they freaking were awesome. I mean, it's just if you're looking for good musicians, you're not going to find it. This old hardcore band, Saj Oi band. And they weren't white power or anything like that. They were just pro-American. Anyway, and it's so stupid. So the singer of that band became like a pretty prominent, I guess like a cook critique in one of those big New York magazines. And then he was found out like in 2018 or something like that he was the singer of YDL, and they got rid of him. I said, and he never said, freaking it's just the whole thing. You would not feel the white fist. He never said anything like that, at least that I'm aware of. I was like, this is crazy, man. It's like, well, the whites have power. It's like, not in New York City, you freaking fools. They don't have, I don't think so stupid. Otis Redding, yeah, I do like some Otis Redding. Actually, let's listen to the politics is downstream of culture, 100%. Mexican Norteño. Oh, is that what it is, Dan? All right, cool. Yeah, there's lots of good metal out of Europe. Actually, lots of good metal out of Europe. It's crazy. 1,000 Mods comes to mind. I love 1,000 Mods out of Greece. There's a band out of Poland, Red Scalp. Dude, crazy. All kinds of good bands coming out of Europe. Los Lobos, Mexican Norteño. Yeah, politics is. Otis Redding and Ray Charles are great too. Yeah, I was just getting ready to say something about. Oh man, I forgot what I was getting ready to say on that. Yeah, I never liked Santana. Never liked Lenny Kravitz. Didn't do anything for me. Actually, I went to a show. That's what I was saying on Saturday. They played the "I'm Gonna Go My Way" thing with Lenny Kravitz. I was like, oh, I never understood the appeal of that song. I guess because Lenny Kravitz, he's half black, half white. I guess he's got good abs. He's got those dreads, so he makes it. Oh, we gotta love Lenny Kravitz, like Bad Brains. I never got into the Bad Brains. I actually, believe it or not, I like the Bad Brains. And if you say anything about the Bad Brain, I'm not saying anything bad about the Bad Brains, not at all. They just never did much for me. Their song, their album "I Against I," which is they came a little bit more rocking than hardcore. I actually like that as my favorite Bad Brains album. The other albums before that did nothing for me at all. But everyone's like, Bad Brains, because they're all black guys. And I got no qualm with Bad Brains. But I was like, man, it's not that good, dudes. Come on. And if you say anything about Bad Brains, it's crazy. And actually, look, I got no qualm with Bad Brains. It's my personal taste, so sue me. But it's just like, I never got the appeal of Bad Brains other than they're black and they play hardcore music, which is pretty cool. But with that said, their music itself didn't do anything for me. But their "I Against I" album, I think it was "I Against I." I like that quite a bit. But hey, we got $4.99 super chat. Right on. Jeremy. I like the older jazz, Miles Davis, Louis Armstrong, Count Basie, says Jeremy. Look at Jeremy. Jeremy, a white guy from Maine. He's like 32 years old or 33 years old, talking about freaking old jazz music. Look at Jeremy. How cool is that? Freaking, that's right there. It is right there. Norteña. Ay. Well, Sergio Santana, you can't get much more freaking Spanish than that. He's from Los Angeles, right? So Sergio would know what some good Spanish Mexican bands are, right, Sergio? Sergio Santana? Look at that guy. Waiting for, oh, God, I cannot stand Snoop Dogg. Where was I reading the other day? Or I saw, I think, Anomaly posted this video that Cameron Diaz was in the same high school as Snoop Dogg, and she used to buy marijuana from him. And I think Cameron Diaz is like a uber rich girl. I was like, what is this? It's just so, look, they sell their souls for the devil because the people in Hollywood, which will go unnamed, if you know what I'm saying, who control Hollywood, they have a love-hate relationship with blacks. And sadly, they wave enough money. There's going to be a guy like Snoop Dogg who will take the soul, who will take the freaking money, take the ticket, and sell out his people. There's no other way around it, man. It's crazy. Do whites do the same thing? Absolutely. But whites aren't killing each other the way blacks are to mimic the street violence. And then, of course, the CIA floods the black neighborhoods with freaking crack cocaine and whatnot. And then they have the rich Hollywood producers produces gangsta rap. And then what they sell, so some of these guys get rich, and then everyone else wants to. So I was listening to this guy, MC Breed. I've never heard of MC Breed until this guy showed me the video in 1991. And MC Breed had a video where Saddam Hussein is being hung, and it was funny because 13 years later, Saddam Hussein literally got hung. It was crazy. It's like literally, dude, it's completely. Foreshadowing is nuts, and you're like, who the anyway? So, and I liked his song. I can't remember what it's called. Something about fronting. I forgot what it was called. But anyway, so here's a guy, and I actually enjoyed that song a lot. It was a good song. I liked his style. But he's saying he's clocking 10 G's a week. And I said, no, you're not. You're not clocking 10 G's a week, man. Come on. Yeah, Chuck Berry, dude. I love Chuck Berry. Chuck Berry freaking crushes. You're all a cultural appropriationist, what I'm saying. And in fact, if you actually read Thomas Sowell's book, Black Rednecks and White Liberals, you'll see that the ghetto blacks have culture appropriated the culture from the Scottish Highlands, Wales, and Ulster County, Ireland. So we want our culture back. Like when they say "dis," they didn't. Where do you think the word "axe"? I want to ask you a question. That's not from blacks. That's from freaking whites. I bet you didn't know that. That's why I got to read some books, man. Yeah, R.I.P. to MC Breed. I saw that. I'd never even heard of him, but I liked it. How did he die, Black Scorpion? That's hopefully he didn't get shot up like Hadia Pendleton. Hadia Pendleton. Remember her name? She's a lady, freaking gorgeous girl too. I mean, she's young, but I mean, she's very, very pretty. And she sang at Obama's inauguration, either his first or second, I can't remember. And then she's just hanging out with Chicago and got gunned down by a bunch of thugs. And no one cares, you know. But if a white cop did it or a white guy did it, everyone would be freaking screaming bloody murder. But when Hadia Pendleton gets shot down, no one cares. It's crazy. Because the media doesn't care about black on black crime. They just don't. And I mean, in fact, until blacks start freaking demanding some, no one's going to care. You're just going to see more and more of your people dying. The irony of it all was this is from the white culture too. He fell ill after basketball, like because of, you know what, there, Black Scorpion? Is that one of those die suddenly things where he did something he maybe not have done? But anyway, so this is exactly what Thomas Sowell writes about. He goes, oh, what these blacks call is literally from the white redneck culture. It's crazy. And the white redneck culture says, you know, it's literally, you're reading about the white redneck. And I don't mean rednecks like we all kind of tend to in 2006. Okay, gotcha, right on. I don't mean the rednecks like we kind of say, oh, rednecks are kind of, no, we're talking the real rednecks, the crackers and rednecks from the 1800s and whatnot. The poor whites in the South. Is that that's where the rednecks were really from, the crackers and the rednecks, not these what we have now. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so it's literally, you're reading this Thomas Sowell and you're reading these quotes, you're thinking it's like inner city blacks, and then all of a sudden he hits you with a 2x4. Said no, that's the whites from the South. It's crazy. Dude, man, just think about another guy, Marvin Gaye. Yeah, dude. It's so frustrating. All right, well, I got off on a tangent there. I didn't mean to get off on it. I don't even know why. But it's just, I thought about somebody. I was just thinking about, who was it? It was a black guy. Oh, who the hell was that? Anyway, I can't remember. All right. So let's, just so much good music. Oh, my goodness. All right. So we're going to share this article in the Wall Street Journal. And I literally can't believe this is even debatable. And we're going to show you why sometimes it pays to watch me as opposed to reading the Wall Street Journal. Because this is just silly. Can you all? All right, sweet. All right, so here's do I have my? Oh, I don't have my. Oh man, I don't have my HP calculator because it occurred to me. I said, we can figure out how old she is. Anyway, Ann Turgeson. All right. A few weeks ago, my former employer offered me a check for $44,000. If I take it, I have to give up a monthly pension of $423 at the start age. If I can find my, hold on a second, right here. So I got $44,000 or $423 at 65. All right. Should I grab the $44,000 or keep the pension? It's the question more Americans are facing. Employers have good reason to offer lump sum payments and get the pensions off the hook. With high interest rates, it costs the companies less to pay out the pensions. As I did a video on this about a year ago, it's the best time to take your pension because the interest rates are high, maybe 6 months ago. Because your pension payout is contingent on the current interest rates. The higher the interest rates, the lower your the lower your pension payout, not your monthly benefit. The higher the interest rate, hey, my man Tom Ford, give me $5. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, if you guys, Al Jarreau, yeah, dude. So many freaking legends. So thanks, Tom. If you guys want to support the channel, we got super chats down below. I'm much obliged. Appreciate y'all for sure. Don't just rely on my man Jeremy. Jeremy's like a freaking 35-year-old guy who's in the Army National Guard down there in Augusta right now. You don't want Jeremy to support this channel. Come on. Open up your pockets. Let it out, baby. Let it out. Anyway, so what was I talking about? All right, so we got 44. Oh, yeah, the higher the interest rates, the lower your lump sum is going to be. The lower the interest rates, the higher your lump sum is going to be. So the company was like, hey, man, it costs companies less to pay out the pension benefits as they have promised workers. And the upfront payouts can be smaller when rates are lower, what I'm saying. All right, so deciding whether to take the money or keep the pension requires doing some math and weighing competing risks. Take an upfront payment, as more than 40% of workers do. I'm actually surprised by that. I thought it would have been more. Raising the odds to run out of money in old age. But many workers have pension incomes that lack cost of living increases, leaving them vulnerable to inflation. Compounding the pressure on many receiving these offers are tight deadlines. All right, so my former employer, S&P Global, gave me until October 10th. All right, so here's Ian Berger. That's Rob Berger's long lost brother. Isn't that his name, Rob or Rod or something like that? The guy with the white beard, very, very skinny face, very big head and skinny body. I can tell he does serious low carbs. And I said, Rob, you got to take some carbs because your head's bigger than your body, man. Trust me, when I went full low carbs, no carbs for about 3 months, I got the same way. My head was big, my body was small. I said, this is sickly. For most people, a pension lump sum is the largest single check they'll ever become eligible to receive over their life, says this guy. It's hard to turn it down. Well, I agree with that. But in this case, it can be stupid. Let's see. This isn't the first time I considered swapping my pension for a check. In 2015, they offered me $32,000, which I turned down. At $44,000, this offer is higher, in part because I'm 8 years closer to receiving my pension, or because 8 years have transpired, whatever this lady's name is. I mean, you had $32,000 in 2015, $44,000 now. Well, 8 years have gone by. 8 years closer to receiving her pension, but 8 years for the money that S&P Global had, they could invest it. Despite significant reservations, I'm taking the money up front this time. Here's what to consider. The math frequently favors keeping the pension. It says Joshua Gottbaum, something like that, former director of the USPBGC. The money frequently favors keeping the pension, says the guy who used to head the USPBGC, and he knew how underfunded PBGC was. To replicate my pension, I asked New York Life how much it would cost to buy a deferred annuity that would pay me $423 a month starting at 65. The answer is it costs $55,000. Or I could take a lump sum of $44,000. That's a freaking 25% difference right there. So to get $423 in a monthly income from an annuity, it costs $55,000. Whereas now she's getting $423 with an annuity that costs $44,000. Now I want to share a couple of things here. I'm gonna stop sharing for a second. Always remember, hey man, there's right on. There's Josh. My presence is your presence. Here's Tom with a $5 super chat. Need to retire, but concerned about health insurance. Going to be 62, but afraid the Affordable Care Act will be revoked. It's not going to be revoked. It's not, dude. Nope. It's not going to be revoked. If you actually look, as I run these, as talk to the lady here. No, where is she? At some state, I forgot now. What the hell was she? I forgot. But there's like 155 different plans that she could choose from under Obamacare. It wasn't like that in 2018. 2018, it seemed to be on its last legs. Insurers were not trying to get involved in the program. No one knew anything. That has just changed remarkably now, and it's solidified now. It's not going anywhere. And whatever, man. I mean. It's not insurance, I'll tell you that right now. But if you can get it, Tom, with low income and qualify for subsidies, you'd be crazy not to. Now I can't get we don't have it. We only have HMOs here in Fulton County. But yeah, 100%, Joe. Without subsidies, it's just high price insurance. Yeah, if you didn't have the subsidies, people would be screaming bloody murder. You know what I'm saying? They'd want Obama. I don't want to say much more. They'd want Big Mike. Let's put it this way: when Big Mike runs for office, there's not. When Big Mike runs to replace Sniffy Joe, they'd say they don't want to vote for Big Mike simply because it's they're paying out of pocket for the fees, and no one wants to do that. So not only is it not going to be revoked, I don't think the subsidies are going anywhere either. And I'm look, dude, it is what it is. There's nothing you can do about it now, and just deal with it. It's kind of like Social Security. I would never have voted for Social Security if I was in Congress back then. Hey, look at my man Jeremy. Yeah, I didn't. I wasn't a big fan of Augusta, Jeremy. Sorry, man. I didn't do much for me down there. I was rather disappointed, frankly. I got big hair sitting right there. Look at that. I was rather disappointed, so I'm not coming back anytime soon. It didn't do anything for me. I did like that place North Augusta where they play the baseball team, the Green Jackets. That seemed like a nice little quaint place, but Augusta didn't do anything for me at all. Yeah, Vincenzo says he's taking his daughter to look at Augusta College next week. That place looks nice. That neighborhood right there looked nice, but not for me, man. Not for me. That's for sure. So if you ever come back up this way, Jeremy, we can we can have you over, do some freaking steaks or something like that on the grill. You'll pay. Just joking. All right. So anyway, what is that? Oh, so what the hell was I saying here? I was talking for a whole second. Don't forget when you're doing a pension through your company. I cannot stress this enough. You got to understand. So Ann Turgeson, whatever her name was, she was looking at New York Life to give her a private annuity based on the private market. All right. Now, if you do an annuity or pension through your company's plan, they're going to look at it as the overall employee network in terms of health, life expectancy, health, and whatnot. There is an older audience among the people in your company and a less healthier audience as well, a constituent, if that makes sense. So what that means is when they're underwriting for these annuities / pensions inside your employer plan, it would be older people who are more sickly than the general population as a whole as what you can get from New York Life. So you don't take your lump sum and then turn around and buy a pension from a private company. That's freaking stupid. Don't ever do that. If you're going to take the pension / annuity, you do it through your employer, you're going to get a better payout. It's just that simple because their underwriting is based on the employer group as a whole. The exact same thing is with life insurance, except the opposite. Your life insurance is more expensive through your company than it is if you got on the private market. Again, because through your company, the life insurance program says that people are older and more sickly, more likely to die sooner, which means we're going to have more claims to pay, which means you're going to have to pay a higher premium. Jeremy, stop paying me money, dude. I don't want you to pay me money, man. Yeah, if you want to Columbus, we won't be here Columbus. Wait, when's Columbus Day? The 6th? That's what I'm taking my boy to. Is that what it is? Is Columbus Day the 6th or something like that? Anyway, email me, brother. But we're going up to Michigan some weekend in October. I can't remember. But always remember, so don't pay me more money, Jeremy. I appreciate the super chats. Keep it, dude. Keep it. Much obliged, though. Other people can pick up Jeremy's steam and pay me the super chats. Other people can. Jeremy's in the army, serving your country to make sure Putin doesn't set his sights on Augusta, Georgia. Because we now they're talking about sending advisors to Ukraine because, we got to, it's so damn, oh my God. The idea that did you hear about Ukraine with Maria Abramovich, that freaking ass clown that Zelensky is like, y'all done? All right, dude. Look at you, Jack, man. Love you. You ready to go to Michigan? No, I think it's the week after or something like that. I forgot. Huh? Homecoming. Nerd. What was I saying? Okay. Oh, yeah. So Maria Abramovich or whatever Zelensky's partner with. And she's really the evil, evil witch. I'm literally a witch. There's no other way around that. On top of that, that trans, that trans spokesperson. Oh, I was reading the anonymous conservative blog today, and he's over the target because he keeps getting the bots, not the bots, but the bad players go after him to take his website off. So it's always a challenge to get on the blog. Anyway, he's talking about someone had sent him an email saying, "Hey man, just want you to know, I know that trans I don't want to say anything to get me banned. That trans spokesman from Ukraine, I actually knew him. Her, excuse me, bots, excuse me, YouTube is her. Don't misgender me or whatever it is. Don't ban me. I actually knew it when that person was had moved from Las Vegas to North Florida for about 18 months, enrolled its son into a T-ball, and became very tight with the lieutenant governor of Florida, a guy named Brogan or something like that. And then a year later, he's gone. He goes, "It's very odd." And then I saw the picture of that guy, that person. I saw the picture of that person, and I said, "That's that person." He said, "I couldn't." This guy, he said, "I couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe it was that person. It's crazy. It's almost like he moved from Las Vegas to come here for a year and a half, get tight with the politicians, and then get picked by the cabal. Say you're going to be our person when the bad stuff happens. It might not have been a Ukraine spokesman position, might have been something else they didn't know, but they had it in their back pocket. Dude, it's all corrupt. And I mean, just is nothing you can do about it. Just laugh. What the evil guys hate, they hate laughter. They hate it. So just laugh. Say, nice wig. All right. So let's go back. So remember, you want to get your life insurance on your own. We're going to Traverse City. We want to see that Great Dune thing. I think you told me about it, Tom. The Great Bear Dune or something like that. And I've always wanted to go see the Great Lakes. So me and Kevin, we're going to drive around there and see the Great Lakes, see the Great Bear Dune or whatever it's called. Check out Traverse City. I thought about maybe, looking at a place to retire, not buying a retirement home, but retirement there. Because I just got to be near the water. That's all there is to it. But it's just too gray, man. I was doing a lot of research. And I was like, yeah, it's just too gray. I can't. My wife would go nuts. She would go. Sleeping Bear Dunes National Park. Yeah, that's what it's called. Sleeping Bear Dunes, right on. I couldn't do it, man. She'd go. Like, for me, I like this. I mean, I like the sun, but my wife is, she's definitely got the Iberian Peninsula in her, even though she's Irish, Mick, she's a Mick, but she's got the Iberian Peninsula in her through her mom. She gets very tan. She's dark. She's the only one with brown eyes. All her brothers and sisters are very light, with light eyes and whatnot. Yeah. So Judy B, hey Judy B, I haven't seen you for a while. What's going on? Of course, I haven't done many live streams here for a while. All right. So remember, if you have a life insurance, don't get it through work unless you're sickly, and sickly is many different things. But if you're healthy, don't get it through work. Get it through your private insurance. Because the work life insurance is going to underwrite you as if you're part of the general population, which is older and sickly. If you're in bad shape, absolutely keep it through work without question, because you probably won't get underwritten for life insurance on the private market. The exact opposite goes to the pension. Do not take a private pension because they think they're going to give you less money. All right, take a private being on your own. Take it through the employer pension. All right, that's because they think you're going to die soon. What's going on with Andrew? They said my tests were medically necessary, and then found after. What's going on with Andrew? Our ACA plan costs $681 a month for two, but it's a high deductible plan. Also been a bit of a nightmare getting things approved. Yeah, wife took months to get CPAP approved. Same my heart. 100%. It's socialized medicine, man. It's actually not socialized medicine, but it's a step in that direction. It's not. We're not England or Canada, thank the good Lord, but it's getting there. I mean, we still have options, but it's getting there for sure. I mean, it's just a matter of demand, supply and demand, man. Supply and demand. They got too much people using it, and they're using it for stupid stuff. And then the people like Andrew who need it for real stuff, they get put to the back. It's crazy. All right, so let's keep going back to this article here because I hope that makes sense. Probably didn't. I'm probably yapping. No one understands a word I'm saying, but we'll keep going. All right, so here's Ann Turgetson or whatever. She goes, I could invest the money instead, assuming I was able to earn the S&P's long-term average of 7.4. I didn't understand that either. So I want to go to political calculations right here. Oops, let me show you guys what I'm doing here. She said she's getting 7.4%. I said, I don't think that's a long-term average of the S&P 500. Let's see what we got. President. Political calculations. Okay, there we go. And we're going to go to right here, S&P at your fingertips. Oh, I got to stop this right here and go over here. Hold on just a second. There we go. Non-doctors due to equity, 100%, Marie. 100%. All right. S&P 500 at your fingertips. We're just going to go to 1926. It's kind of like the modern era of stocks. And we're just going to go to 1926 and right there. So calculate. So the rate of return with dividend reinvestments is 10.17. So I don't get why she said 7 point. What'd she say? She said 7.4%. I didn't understand that. I mean, if you didn't reinvest your dividends, it's 6.19. So I'm not sure where she got the 7.4. It's that didn't make sense to me. So it's like, what? I mean, I don't know. Maybe we could go to, we'll say 1970 or something like that. Let's see. Go to 1970. But I don't. I mean, literally, I don't understand. Maybe we'll go back to 1881. Just see what it says for 1871. Excuse me. I don't know why we'd do that, but let's do it here. Calculate 9.19 since 1871, and which is double that if you didn't reinvest your dividends, by the way. So I don't know what she's talking about. This is odd for her to say that. Now I like that she's isn't assuming a great rate of return on her stocks, but anyway, she's saying using the S&P's long-term average annual return of 7.4. Maybe that's net of inflation. Maybe now either way. My 44,000 would appreciate to 72,000. Now I don't have my calculator, my Texas Instruments here, but basically, if she was going to get 7.2% a year, that 44,000 would go to 88,000 in 10 years. So I think she's about 57 years old. My presumption is. So she has about 57. I think she did say, because she says 8 years. Actually, I don't know that. I think she's about 57. This woman. So if she waited 8 years, she'd get $423 a month, guaranteed every single month for the rest of her life. But then she uses this stupid, uses a 4% withdrawal rate that has long been considered a relatively safe level of retirement spending, would only give her $242 a month. Yeah, 100%. And that's and I did 5% on 72,000. I forgot what I came up with. I think I had written a comment here. But anyway, be that as it may, it's not anywhere near what you would get. All right. Longevity is the main reason I kept my pension in 2015. The longer I expect to live, the more valuable my pension's promise of a lifetime income. Yeah. Steve Vernon, a former pension actuary, advises people to keep a pension if they lack enough guaranteed income from other sources. I completely agree with that, 100%. A pension might also make sense for those who aren't comfortable managing their money or might have difficulty doing so later in the years. Or a pension might not make sense if you think the markets have significant downturns, especially when you retire. My pension is small enough that in the unlikely event my former employer falls on hard times and turns his pension over to PBGC, my pension would be fully covered because PBGC insures up to $67.50 for a 65-year-old a month. So she's fine. Why I took the lump sum? I can roll into my IRA where I can grow tax deferred for another basically 20 years or so. As retirement approaches, I have a better understanding of our future finances, including other guaranteed sources of income. Inflation also spooked me. My 423 monthly check seemed substantial enough back in 2015, but thanks to rising prices, I need $544 to have the same buying power today. All right, so 544 is what she says. I can almost guarantee you she's using CPI, which is, don't do that, but we'll roll it. 544, that's water under the bridge. That matters not. 423 today is what your pension will be versus $44,000 lump sum. Because my pension is frozen at $423 a month, it's going to buy me even less when I'm 65, never mind 85. Having a guaranteed income stream that covers an ever-shrinking share of my future budget doesn't seem that helpful. But here's where it really comes down to. This is what drove her decision. She didn't say it, but you can see it a mile away. I hate to admit it, but my decision is an emotional one. When I consider what my 2015 lump sum would have grown to if I had invested it, it's hard not to feel regret because since 2016, the S&P 500 averaged 12% a year. 12% a year. So she's like, man, I missed out on 12% a year. He said to find out how much I'd need to earn on the money to match the promised pension income. This guy says, an advisor says, if I live to 85, I need to earn an average of 5.9% a year of my 44,000 to equal the cumulative income from my pension, assuming I invest my monthly checks and earn the same 5.9%. If I reach 90, my lump sum would have to earn 6.6% equal to pension. But again, this is assuming I invest my checks instead of taking the income. Because I'd have to take a lot of investing to keep up with that pension, this guy recommends stick with a pension 100%. But I have a high risk tolerance. I figure 6 to 7% isn't an unrealistic average to expect over decades. So I'm going to invest my money and hope the remaining for my sons. All right. So I had written a comment in here, right here. I said, I got 9 thumbs up. That's cool. Absolutely no way you don't take the pension. $423 a month is $5,076 a year, guaranteed payout when you're 65. Divide that $5,076 by the lump sum of $44,000. That's a distribution yield of 11.5%. 11.5%. Now, obviously, you're not 65. We don't know how old you are. I think she's about 57. But going back to the assumption of the 7.4% return on the lump sum, giving you $72K by the time you're 65. So again, if she got 7.4%, she got 7.4% at 65. Now, if she got 7.4% each year, all right, and that gave her a $72,000 amount by the time she's 65. All right, so she has $44,000. If she would have rolled that into an IRA and got 7.4% by the time she's 65, basically in 8 years, I think, she'd only have $72,000. And at a 423 amount payout would on that 72,000 is still over 7% a year. That's 7% a year distribution. I'm assuming on a single life. I don't know. And I said I'm assuming this would be on a single life payout with no survivor benefit. The pension is still too good to turn down. I'd highly use to think again, especially if it seems that you're mostly upset because you missed out on the 15% returns in the S&P 500 since your last option to take the lump sum. You're going through FOMO, not a good investing move. And old Jeff Okrina says, I agree. And that's good because he should agree. Anyway, so that's my comment there. Too bad the author didn't take a deeper dive with detailed examples. There's no inflation on this. We don't know a survivor benefit. Required. The author appears to be 58 years old. There you go, right on. She is 70 years from 2030, from 65 to 20. I would treat the 423 as a present value of an ordinary annuity and say 25 years. So again, this guy says, look, that's going to be her net present value, be $59,000. Now, look, she can do everything. I don't know what her other financial situation was, but not to take the pension in that regard. Don't forget, I mean, you can still, let's say you take the pension and you're spending down that money other than your other guaranteed income. That also means your other investments are not being touched. I mean, it isn't just one side. It's not mutually exclusive. You're taking 423 from this pension and you're leaving your other investments that normally you would take 423 out to grow as well. So it's just a bad move, man. No other way around. And this is from the Wall Street Journal. I'm not mad at the lady. It's just, it's a dumb move. No other way around it. But I don't need the money. You're getting an 11.5% distribution yield on what the value is right now. 423 divided by 44,000. If it grows to 72,000, assuming that you got a 7.4% rate of return, that's a huge assumption to make, by the way. Assuming that, then that 423 still give you 7% distribution yield at 65 years old. You can't. Danny was a wild guy, but now it's calmed down some. Danny Partridge, okay. They're David Cassidy. Ugh. El Pascador. Sorry, I missed a music talk. I'm doing bubblegum pops this weekend. Trivia. Which band serves as inspiration for? Okay, interesting. No, HealthShare approved my MRI. My HealthShare approved my MRI with one phone call a couple years ago. They are great. That's fantastic. Pressure on his brain. Yikes. Here's Richard. He retired from the state of Florida. Had the option to take lump sum. I looked at annuities and could not get same return. The kicker that has a 2%. Oh yeah, that's not. Look at that. Richard rubbing it in. Anyway, so I thought that was pretty interesting. And, the Cowsills, that's actually a band. Look at Jill. Jill knows. When it comes to that old music, Jill knows it all. Jill knows it all. Yeah, Jill, who was the best metal band of the 80s, she'll probably say, like, Dokken. Jill would say, Donnie Dokken. And I actually don't mind Dokken, but they weren't the best metal band of the 80s. Fastway. Remember Fastway? Singer Fastway went on to be in Flogging Molly. Kind of funny. That's Jill's exposure metal. I listened to Fastway in the 70s. I actually don't mind Fastway. 423 is a nice kicker to top off Social Security. 100%. 100%. Yeah. And Jill said she'd taken her pension at 56 and it was the best choice. Yeah. Yeah, Metallica, no, they don't do much for me. I like Ride the Lightning, and I like to Kill 'Em All. After that, nah. Master of Puppets, nah, niet. As us Putin stooges say, niet. And then here's Flavor Flav, and Public Enemy. Yeah, I liked Yo Bumrush's Show. That was a pretty good album until they got fancy, and they bought the ticket to be the Black Pride group. Because the rich guys, and if memory serves, Public Enemy's from Philadelphia. We talk about Philadelphia music in the 60s. I think Public Enemy's from Philadelphia. That's the same argument right there, Andrew. Take Social Security early to make make investments not to be touched. That's the exact same argument for sure, which is not what I'd want to make. State of Maryland only does monthly, not lump sum. They do offer a COLA every July 1st. Look at Henry Rivas. All right, here we go. All right, cool. Let's see what Henry says. Now, Henry's got to know some Mexican bands, right? Rivas? Yeah, absolutely. All right, Henry. So what's the other version of Mexican music that's not mariachi? There's a bunch of music out there. You got to know, Henry. Come on. No, we're not putting you on the spot just because you have a Spanish last name. All right, so we're going to draw this out. Henry's got 114,000 schmackaroonies. Or 793 with 100% survivor benefit. Wow. I don't freaking have my calculator, dude. Did I wear clothes? Not having a calculator for a financial planner is like being naked. Come on. Metallica. Boring. I did like I can't remember the name of the song, man. Off Ride the Lightning. Hold on, I got to think about this. I can't not have Fade to Black. Fade to Black. All right. So let's take a look at old Henry here. Henry Rivas. And Tejano. That's what it was. Look at my man, Bob A. Tejano. Yes, sir. That's what I'm talking about. Get Bob. Bob's coming in here and crushing. Everybody else is being crushed. Bob comes here and crushes. Yeah, that's Tejano, man. That a guy named Rick. Not Rick Sanchez, Rick's Spanish name. Dude, what the hell is his name? Fever Flav. You're banned. We're banning Fever Flav. Enter Sandman. Oh, gosh. So boring. It does. Listen, that makes me go to sleep. Literally, because I'm like, listen to Enter Sandman. I want to just literally go to bed and suck my thumb. There's an old band I think out of San Francisco called Exodus. Oh my goodness, I was in the mid '80s. They just freaking. Bob says you live in San Antonio. Right on, Bob. Yeah. All right, so there's 793. I'm going to shut up and answer Henry's question because he's probably offended that I called him. Yeah, Rivas said, "Hey, Mexican, you got to know some Mexican music." It's like, how dare you? How dare you misjudge me or whatever it is, misgender me? So he's got 9,516 divided by 114,000 schmackaroonies. That gives us 8.3%. Dude, how old are you? And that's going to be at 65. 8.3% is Henry's payout. With 100% survivor, dude, it's 100%. That's a no-brainer, Henry. I don't know what Carol G, Colombian singer. This is my Spanish option. Right on. Very good. All right, so you got a good sense of humor. Right on. Dude, you take the. I'm like, I can't tell you what to do, Henry. Not telling you what to do. If someone were to say, Josh, there's 114,000 or 793 a month, They'll cover you and your spouse for the rest of your life. I'm taking the $793 a month 100 times out of 100, 100%, 100%. 800. Oh, let's see. Ooh, what? All right, here we go. This is fun. Yep, Fred gets it. Everybody gets it. Henry, we've answered your question. Again, we don't know your circumstance. Don't listen to me. I'm just some clown on YouTube in my banished basement here. I did shave this morning, though, so I'm looking pretty good. Pearly whites are brushed. Pearly yellows looking pretty good. So, so I mean, look, this is pretty formal, I grant you. But, hey, you take it for what it's worth. All right, so we got what and when to. All right, so here we got this pal, 800,000 or 4,000 a month. So that's 48,000 divided by 800,000. Right? Corporal, I resemble Corporal Agarn. I don't know what the hell that is. Saw F Troop reruns. I don't know anything about F Troop. It's a little bit before my time, Vern. You boomer. So let's do what. Oops, I need to get my calculator here. So we got 4,000 a month. That's 48,000 a year divided by 800,000 bucks. That's only 6% there, brother. I wouldn't do that. That's right on the cusp, and with that kind of scratch, I would not take the pension with no COLA. Oh, with a COLA. Ooh, wait. Okay, you got to. All right, what's the survivor? All right, now we need more. All right. Ooh, that's different. Okay, that does have a COLA. 6% with a COLA and a survivor benefit. Is that 100% survivor benefit? It might be tough to turn that. There's this guy writing back. We got to answer this question. He says COLA. That's gonna be tough to turn away from. That's a lot of money, dude. That's a problem. It's a lot of money to lock up. But yeah. Oh, dude, a pretty stable employer. You don't have to say your employer. Just are they stable? You know what I'm saying? Or is it some fly-by-night freaking mortgage company that the clowns bought out the Mel Tucker contract from Michigan State University? Those idiots who bought the Phoenix Suns on usury. They make all their money in mortgage lending on usury, and now they own the Phoenix Suns. They paid for Mel Tucker's stupid contract from the University of Colorado to go to Michigan State University. Then they fired his butt because he wasn't that good of a football coach under one fake accusation by some grifter. Yeah, Jill, the thing with what's that guy's name? Tim Ballard, whoever his name is, the Ballard of Curtis Lowe, is that I didn't care about freaking, you get accused once. I don't care. You get accused a number of times, something wrong with that. But that doesn't make me. My thing is I don't trust the guy. I don't trust him at all. I just find it interesting that he was able to turn his quick fame now for a run for Senate. That there's a lot. And I like Jim Caviezel. I think Jim Caviezel either got snookered into Tim Ballard stuff or but I don't know what the or would be. I just don't like the guy. There's no other way around it. And then Jill said, because Jill and I were emailing back, she goes, well, who do you like? Who's a perfect candidate? There is no perfect candidate. That's the whole point. Politicians all suck, dude. They're never going to. The one thing politicians will, this is the thing with politicians. They will do what it takes to survive, which is why they're never going to cut your Social Security. I don't know why anyone doesn't understand this. They're never going to cut your Social Security because politicians have one goal and one goal only, to survive. I like seeing Robert Menendez staying in there. I like that. That's the way to do it. He said, no, I'm not backing down. Yeah, I tell you, man, Trump has changed a lot of stuff. Hopefully Republicans will learn from this. Say, no, I'm not backing down. Screw you. Just because you accuse Roy Moore, that we're not freaking jumping ship. I don't think Republicans will because they're so freaking weak. Republicans are the weakest minded people in the history of mankind. But with that said, maybe there'll be enough Republicans say, no, I don't care. You accuse Roy Moore all day long. I'm not leaving. I'm not supporting him just because of some accusation. You can say Todd Atkins, he said some bad words. I don't care. Look at freaking Fetterman. Fetterman says, hey, you jagoffs, why don't you approve the funding for Ukraine and I'll wear a suit? You know what I'm saying? That's what he said. That's what Fetterman said. He called the Republican House a bunch of jagoffs. He says, approve full funding for Ukraine and I'll wear a suit. My wife, check this out. I'm going to answer your question here in just a second. Yeah, dude, if you got a state pension, brother, and you're getting 6%, 100% survivor benefit with a COLA, dude, think about your wife. look, man, that's a lot of money to lock up. Maybe you don't have to be mutually exclusive. Maybe you can take 400,000 and get 2,000 a month and put 400,000 someplace else. I don't know your circumstance, but man, 6% guaranteed from the state tax authority with a 100% survivor benefit, and you're only 62 in a COLA. That's freaking sharp, dude. That's fantastic. I think someone else put this. We'll talk about Michael in just a second. Let's talk about Fetterman, and then something else came along. Fetterman said about Ukraine. Oh, so anyway, so Charlotte's on this Atlanta group thing for Atlanta, and there's a lot of black people on there. Not Republican necessarily. And, Heels Up Harris was coming to Atlanta, and all these black people. This is where the Republicans. Oh, I said this in 2020, 2022. I'll say it till I'm blue in the face. Believe it or not, look, I'm white. I like white running backs. I like white receivers. I like white basketball teams that have a couple white guys. You're never going to have an all-white basketball team, I grant you. I support the underdog. I would love, love, love to have more blacks come to the Republican Party because I think the blacks and Muslims too, I think they got the gusto the whites don't have in terms of being ballsy. And we need more of that. We just don't have it. Whites are we've been emasculated. There's no other way around that. Especially northern whites. Oh God, I'm just like the northern whites. It's just, it's painful. So I would love it if more blacks came along. And I don't care if they want to freaking tax the rich people and give more to, that doesn't bother me. Half the time I don't even care about reparations. I did a couple of videos. I was even interviewed talk about reparations. I'm not necessarily for it, but I'm not against it per se. I'm just like, I get it. But man, anyway, so my wife was on a Facebook page or some kind of page on Atlanta, and a lot of black people are chiming in like, don't come here, Heels Up. They didn't call her Heels Up. Kamala, you're sending all this money to Ukraine. I'm like 100%. Now that will be short-lived if they vote Republican. Republicans don't do something specifically for blacks, and I get it. It's going to be a lot of turmoil, and I don't know what they would do. I mean, Trump gave a lot of money to HBCUs, and that seemed to no one cares. You know what I'm saying? At least the people at HBCUs don't care. But I wouldn't give it to HBCUs. Screw those people. I give it to freaking the working people. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know I don't literally have a thought what that means. How do you do that? I don't know. How do you do it without pissing off the base of your? I just don't know. I would do it with raising Social Security. And the way I do that, I say Social Security benefits. I say blacks have a bigger need for Social Security than whites. So we give a Social Security boost that will benefit blacks more. That's what I would do. Because you can't do anything racial specific because that's A, is racist, and B, it's offensive to whites. It pisses me off. Like, why would you freaking reward people who were never slaves? With that said, though, I get the gist of it. I get the gist. You got some of these people that have passed down the land for generations that blacks could not own. You know what I'm saying? And, you hear about this stuff and you're like, that's not fair. And that doesn't mean you give 40 acres and a mule to every black who shows up at your doorstep. I'm not saying that, but I get the frustration. But the frustration all these guys were saying on that Facebook page or whatever it was is that, send all this money to Ukraine, Harris. We don't want your ass here. You know what I'm saying? They were saying it. I don't know why the Republicans don't run on this. I do know because Mitch McConnell's in. I get it. If ever it comes out about Ukraine, these guys they're never going to go to jail, but we'll see how corrupt they are because it's all big for cash cow for these people. All of them. Democrats, Republicans alike. That's why I'm so upset with Tom Cotton. What are you doing, Tom Cotton? What the hell? Why are you so engaged? It's crazy to me, man. It's nuts. And the Republicans, all you got to do is say, we're not giving any more money to Ukraine. We're going to give it to fund Social Security, get an increase. You can even say an increase to people who are on the lower scale. That's our reparations. Now help your Spanish people too, because they're on the lower end. Yeah, Republicans, so they're so freaking stupid. And they'll help your own white base. Believe it or not, there are a lot of freaking poor whites out there. They need a bump in Social Security too. So you say, no, we're not giving that money to Ukraine. Screw that. We've done all we could. We're going to give it to fund Social Security. What a great, easy campaign. It's so easy. So frustrating. Let's look at what Michael has. All right. I'm assuming JS is joint survivor, but he didn't say 100, but he got 100%. Okay. Right, so let's see what old Michael's got. Cool. Good question. 3878. I'm assuming no COLA here. So 3878 times 12 equals, that's 46,000 a year, Michael. Divide by $568,000. Dude, man, am I doing this right? Yeah. Oh, okay, good. There we go. So for Michael, on a single life, it'd be an 8.2% distribution yield. I'm assuming no COLA. That's pretty good, but he's still got a better half. We got to make sure she's not in the poorhouse. So 3286 times 12 divided by, that's basically 40,000, divided by 568,000 roughly. That's a 7% pension with 100% survivor benefit. Man, that's tough, dude. That's tough to turn away from. If you're up there in the 7%, and again, on top of that, how much you've lost in terms of lump sum because the interest rates are, look, I can't tell you what to do, but man, that's the 100% survivor benefit. Now, you can make an argument, as some do. I'm a conservative guy, guys. Literally, I'm conservative in everything I do. I don't like risk I don't need to take. So some people say, well, I could use an extra $500. So basically what Michael's got going on, he's got $3,800 on his own life or $3,200 on his wife and his life, right? So it was, for simplicity, $500 a month. So somebody will say, well, you can keep the extra money, the $3,800 on Michael's life, and buy like a life insurance policy. I've heard this a million times a Sunday. The problem is Michael is 65 years old, all right? Those life insurance policies, A, they're not going to be cheap, and B, they're not going to be long. I mean, they're what, a 30-year term for a 65-year-old guy who might not be in the best shape? On top of that, you have to wait. You buy a whole life insurance policy. You know how much a whole life insurance policy to replenish that the money that if you die soon that your wife would not get? A $500,000 whole life policy would be through the roof for a 65-year-old guy. And a universal life, I mean, that might be something to look at, but I'm telling you, I've seen a million of those things blow up in the face of the insured before the insured died, which means the wife is in the world of hurt. So I'm not a fan of doing that. Now you can make the other argument, well, instead of buying a life insurance policy, we'll invest it. All right, well, if you're investing it, for probably 20 years, and I don't have my calculator, so $500 a month is our payment. Investing it for 20 N is our payment, is our year. So we're going to invest $500 a month for 240 months. We'll say a 6% rate of return and with zero present value. What's our future value? I have no clue, but you can say that. But yeah, but are you going to be around at 85 years old? I don't know, man. That's for me, knowing my wife, I would much, much, much rather feel comfortable knowing that if I died because of Fauci or something like that, then she's going to get the full benefit for sure. But everyone's different, man. Yeah, 6% was good a couple years ago until interest rates started going up. Now it's more than 6%, Broken Arrow. Now it's more than 6% because the interest rates are higher now. So the lump sum is going to be lower, and the pension payment will be higher relative to the lump sum because the interest rates have gone up. As such, if I'm looking more at 6.5% to 7%, 7% is kind of like the bogey now. Fred says he's still going 4,000. I get it, man. I get it, Fred. Yeah, hey, look at another guy on LinkedIn, Paul Andery. All right, cool, right on, Paul. I mean, it's tough to give away the $800,000. I grant you. And I don't know what else he's got. If he's got, I don't know, but I get you, man. Yeah, Jim Caviezel played The Passion of the Christ. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's the idea that they're going to cut Social Security. I would go with 4,000. Oh, you're saying you would go with the 4,000 a month? Okay, yeah, gotcha. Right on. Okay, understood. I thought you meant the lumps. Okay, I missed you there. Here's Paul from LinkedIn. To protect 5 years of 9% withdrawal to bridge Social Security, would a bond fund or a bond CD or a multi-year guaranteed annuity ladder earn more? Yeah, we don't know I literally don't know, because a bond fund, once the interest rates take off, and I've been dead wrong this year, man. In fact, what is the year to date on BND? I haven't looked. I mean, it's crazy. The 10-year Treasury right now is at 4.5, which is freaking fantastic. But the idea that I was preaching bonds at the beginning of the year. I'm getting killed. Money people are getting killed is relative, but BND is basically breaking even right now for the year. So it hasn't jumped the way I'd anticipated by this year. So when it comes, but it will. I mean, it should, I would think, once interest rates level off and then they start declining. When's that going to be? I don't know. But now we're in the midst of almost 3 consecutive down years of bonds, guys. That that has never happened. And so if something has never happened and now the interest rates are high, does that not just say, man, there's gold in them now hills? Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Now, I don't want when, where, how. Don't listen to me. My bond, my EDV is getting smoked. What is my gap? I don't care. I don't care. I don't look. You shouldn't look either. Anyway, so Paul says, what would earn more? Man, I got no idea. But if you can get a 5%, I don't think you can't get a 5% CD for 5. Maybe you can. Maybe you can. I would do a 5% CD. The annuity might pay a little bit more. I looked at an annuity on, what's that guy's name? Stanley Annuity Man's website. They had close to a 6% annuity. But, man, when I was looking at New York Life, USAA, the annuities on Schwab, from New York Life, USAA, and Transamerica, I can't remember, they weren't anywhere near 6%. And that was radically higher than what USAA, New York Life, I think it was Transamerica, and another firm that I'm very familiar with and comfortable with were paying. So I'm not touching that for a 10-foot pole. A 6% annuity is great if you can get it for 5 years. But if everything else is right underneath 5, 6%, there's a reason it's so high. That would make me scared. Let's keep going. No, I get you. That's 100%. I mean, remember, you don't have, like, my man. I don't want to say his name, but there's a guy on his YouTube channel, and we went over this 2, maybe 3 years ago now. And you don't have to spend all the money. That's the interesting thing, is just because you got the pension, let's say $4,000 a month. Let's say your Social Security between you and your better half is $4,000 a month. Your pension's $4,000 a month. That's $8,000 a month. That's $100,000 a year. Let's say it only costs you, $76,000 a year to live on. I'm literally just throwing these numbers out. That gives you $2,000 a month that you don't have to spend, that you can now invest in a portfolio of VTI, if that makes sense, the total stock index. And what does VTI do? And when it'll grow to whatever it grows. It might not grow, I don't know. But $2,000 a month for 20 years, I don't know what that'd be. At 6% a year is a lot of friggin' money. Oh, and by the way, that money is what? That money is what? When old Mike was the name, whatever that guy's name is, this guy, what and when to dies, all that money is accumulated in VTI is what? Is it taxable or tax-free? Anyone want to guess? There's Angie. Wait, is that the same Angie? Is that the same Angie? Why, you got glasses? I don't know if that's the same Angie. Angie from California thinking about moving to Tennessee. We were talking to a guy today, he's thinking about moving to Arkansas. I said, yeah, dude, Arkansas is where it's at because everyone's tax-free. Yes, sir. Look at Henry. 100%. Tax-free. So you're pulling the money out of you're paying your taxes on the pension as you go, don't get me wrong. But you're leveling off that tax burden. And what you're doing is you're setting aside some money each and every month, just letting that puppy grow and grow and grow. And then the kiddos inherit it completely tax-free because it's a step up in basis. What a great move. Whereas on the other hand, that $800,000 that they got, it won't be $800,000, I grant you, but whatever they get in that, fully taxable as ordinary income. And who knows what the laws will be at that point? Would they have to take it out in 5 years, 10 years? Who knows? Tax-free on date of death, 100%, Bob. All right, so here's Angie. We're actually thinking about taking my husband's whole pension and getting an insurance policy for me. I don't understand that at all. They not only take out a bunch for me to benefit, but also a percentage of the age difference. But why would you get an insurance policy on you? That doesn't make any sense. So you're going to, Angie, what the hell are you doing, man? So you're going to get I hope I'm reading. No, it says an insurance policy for me. All right, so you're gonna you're going to have a single life pension on your husband. So when your husband dies, there's no money for you, but then you have life insurance on your own life. What? That can't be what you're saying here. You're saying an insurance policy for you. I'm assuming that your husband is the insured there. Please, for the love of all that is good, tell me that the husband would be the insured. So again, have you actually? Yeah, I would go with a guarantee, man, 100%. Yeah. Well, but we don't know that. She said she's taking on insurance. Yeah, I gotta think so too, right? I hope. If that's the same Angie, the German Angie, I'm not sure that's the same Angie. Yellow hair, cute looking. I think that is. If that's the same Angie, there's no way she. Anyway, so I think she's got to be thinking her husband is going to be insured. So then we're right back to the same old story. What kind of insurance policy is he going to get? He's going to get a life insurance of some contingency, and what kind of life insurance? It's going to be either a permanent life, which is expensive, or a term life, which is less expensive, but the term life might not survive him. I look, guys, I've seen this a lot. Now, again, usually what happens is, usually, I don't want to say 100%, but let's go with it. Usually 100% survivor benefit, you're losing about 10% of your monthly pay. If you're losing more than 10%, but I think usually about 50% survivor benefit. Okay, right on, Angie. All right, right on. So she did say it's for her husband. All right, so generally speaking, if you're taking a 50% survivor benefit, you're losing about 5% a month on your monthly payment. All right, so if you had $1,000 a month, you'll get $950 with a 50% survivor benefit on that $950. All right, if you had 100% survivor benefit, if you were getting $1,000 a month, you're going to get $900 a month, with your wife getting that $900 a month upon your demise. All right. So here's what's happening here is that if it's a lot more than 5% or 10%, depending on what your survivor benefit, I get it. It kind of makes sense to consider the insurance market. But doggone, before you make that move, you better make sure you can get insured, and insured at a cheap amount. Remember, you're an older man, guys. You're older. You might have some health risks in there. 100%. So there's Fred. Fred was a 9% reduction for 100% survivor benefit. I would take that. So if you're going to get a term policy, I'm telling you, man, it sounds good, but your husband, let's say you're 62 years old, you get a term for 20-year term, and now he's 81. You're like, husband, I'm going to cut the brake line. You know what I'm saying? Because this is scary. Oh, but Josh, don't you know we can convert the term into a universal life or a whole life? Like for an 81-year-old guy, you know how much that's going to cost? I mean, that's what you would have to do. I've been there with USA. We had to do that. And it sucked, but there's no alternative. It costs a hell of a lot of money, too, to keep that policy in force once the level term goes away. So Angie, the Mad Cat, is saying she will check prices, not just check prices. No. You don't check prices. You get underwritten, Angie. You have your husband get the blood drawn, go through the EKG, all that stuff, because you're probably going to need a pretty significant insurance policy, and probably about $1 million. Anytime they're going over that 7 figures, the EKG, blood drawn, the whole thing, man, they're going to see doctor's notes, and it takes a while. It's no joke, dude. It's not just check prices. Prices don't mean crap until they give you an offer. I cannot stress enough, man. I can make that 1.5% to 1% per month selling cover calls are relatively conservative. That's what I thought. All right. So anyway, don't just check prices, Angie. Don't come back here and said you check prices without being offered. Checking prices don't mean crap until they put it on a contract to see. Yeah, that's crazy right there. That's a big, plus 3% a year. Damn. So if you're 5 years younger, they take another 15% out. Okay. No, I'm not gonna say it's a no-brainer to get the life insurance. That's freaking nuts, dude. Anyway, it's nuts. Yeah, okay. Andrew says they drew blood for my 250 term policy at 40. Yeah, there you go. Look at my man Tom. You got it, Henry. You got it, brother. $2,000 per month for 20 years at 6% is about $1 million exactly. So in that case, that guy, what is and what will ever be, whatever that song by Led Zeppelin, I think they stole that from somebody, didn't they? I didn't say steal it. I hate to say that. I hate that too. Like, oh, the whites took all the rock and roll from the blacks. Like, yeah, they did some regard, and some treated the black bad. Another regard, it made the blacks make a lot more money because the whites publicized it. I hate all that crap. But with that said, I think "What Is and What Will Ever Be" from Led Zeppelin. I think that was another band song, if memory serves. Oh, Rosie, oh girl, oh Rosie, oh girl. Is that same song? Steal away. Such a good freaking Led Zeppelin was so good. Did you know the Led Zeppelin was first named the New Yardbirds? Did you know that? I just learned that on some guy's channel the other day. The New Yardbirds. I was like, damn, I did not know that. I mean, I knew Jimmy Page was in the Yardbirds, of course. I did not know the Led Zeppelin. So Jimmy Page, he left the Yardbirds. I can't remember why, but he left the Yardbirds and he said, basically knew Robert Plant and the other guys. Keith Moon, no, that's the Who. John Bonham and John Paul Jones. I guess I can't remember. Anyway, he knew those other guys. And they were going to call the New Yardbirds. Isn't that crazy? Anyway, let's keep going. Tax free. Y'all got the tax free stuff right on. Yes, 100%. There we go. Look at Sergio. Sergio hasn't answered my question about Mexicano music. How dare you, Sergio? Aren't you proud of your heritage? Come on, Sergio. Jeez Louise. Oh, boy. Look, Jill answered my question about the best beer to drink. I mean, Thompson's an Irish name. You know what I'm saying? So Jill will know what good drinking is. Why do you think they call it a paddy wagon? Y'all know why they call it a paddy wagon? Old Lawn Eagles? Look at Denise showing up late. But that's all right. Old Lawn Eagles. What the hell's that? No one knows what that is, Denise. Oh, makes sense, please. Remember, Denise literally died. She flatlined. So her head might not. Hey, look at my man Ron. Look at my man Ron. We had some debates on seeing too far over the alleged curve. First, New Yardbirds. So Denise died on us and then came back to life to spew Old Lawn Eagles, whatever the hell that is, versus New Yardbirds. Okay, so gotcha. Didn't Moon say any band around Robert Plant would crash like Led? Oh, really? That's crazy. Really? Is that what he? That's crazy, man. Nothing better than Dickens cider. What the hell is that, man? Clapton and Beck were in the Yardbirds too. They were a super group, but they didn't know. Yeah, what I'm saying. Yeah, and Cream. You ever watch those videos with Ginger Baker from Cream? Even Keith Moon, you can tell he's freaking high as a kite. Just wonder how those drummers, they just get so freaking wrapped up. A man, RR, 455,000 at 401k at 43. Freaking crushing, dude. Kicking ass. Good stuff, man. Let's see what else we got. We are retired, but we keep paying premium for life insurance because I basically do a lot around the house. My wife would have to hire just about everything. Yeah, $479 a month for 250 is money well spent. Yeah, and then Andrew, at some point that term will go away, and then you'll probably not want to do anything around the house anyway because you're gonna get old. Especially the fact what you said something about your physical stuff happening. We want to keep that life insurance for sure. Yeah, so here's my man Fever Flav making a classic mistake. He wants to use his money to make more, 100%. And I get it. I don't know if you can, but I know I get it. Getting 6%, yeah, 100%, Jill. But again, it depends on the insurance company. That's the question. So when I was at USA, look at here, government is. When I was at USA, not every white Orlando, yeah, 100%, man. There's very few landowners. It's crazy. Follow the money, politicians on the take. There's Marie. Yes, Fox and Disney held the movie hostage for 5 years, and the director had to pay to get it back. I didn't know that. That's good to know. Interesting. Yeah, there you go. Charlie B. I didn't see a. Inner city blacks fed up with the government giving shelter and handouts to illegal immigrants, not doing it 100%, man. I mean, the problem with inner city blacks, they want the government to revitalize their communities. That's where it gets bad. You shouldn't rely on the government to revitalize your communities. But, at the end of the day, I mean, you have to be a fool to realize that the freaking politicians on the Democratic Party could care less about the blacks. You know what I'm saying? With that said, is the enterprise zones and all that and the Jack Kemps of the world doing anything? No. At some point, the one thing to revitalize black communities is to say, freaking, if you're going to father a child, stay with a damn kid, you freaking scumbag. You know what I'm saying? You're a dad, be a freaking father. Be a father, you freaking piece of crap. Just get some chick knocked up and walking away. At some point, the Republicans are going to have to say, no, this is unacceptable. You're going to be doing that crap? We don't want nothing to do with you, man. And that's for whites. That's for everybody else, too, without question. The issue isn't the white community that's freaking floundering under this. So it is a little bit. Don't get me wrong. It's a black community. Everybody knows this. It's evil. It's disgusting. And the Klan won because of what's happening right now, without question. It's not the government's responsibility to revitalize communities with a stupid gentrification, all that. It's the freaking individual's responsibility to revitalize their own damn communities. But you're not going to do it as long as the men just get, for some reason, looked at like conquering heroes by having all these kids with it's insane, man. And then the kids get brought up in a freaking feminist society with their mom and their teachers, all women. The only time they see a man is a cop or a football coach. That's it. Or some freaking punk. That's it. So they have no idea what it's like to go out there and be a hardworking man. Like the old Southern, I'm telling you, man, I talked about this in the live stream we did on Wednesday on Locals. The Northern blacks scored, going into World War I, scored higher on aptitude tests than Southern whites and going into World War I. Did you know that? I didn't know that until I read Thomas Sowell. The Northern blacks scored higher on aptitude tests than Southern whites. You know why? Because the Northern blacks are educated in these old New England type of schools that read and write and arithmetic and honor in the way you present yourself. You know what I'm saying? Webb Du Bois, all these Booker T. Washington, all these guys. It's the Dunbar High School in D.C. And all that was just kind of wiped away with the black radicals in the 1960s. All sponsored by white libs and a group that shall not be named. It's crazy. It's freaking evil and disgusting. If you read Thomas Wolfe, Mau Mau and the Flat Catchers. He talks about Leonard Bernstein, holding the Cuban communist over to his house as he living in New York City. It's just so freaking sick. Like the video I posted today from Paul Joseph Watson, some clown, some rich freaking scumbag who gives a lot of money to the Tories in the UK. Now he's like, I'm going to give my money to labor unless you go to net zero. As this guy flies in his private helicopter from point to point to point. He's got a big fat yacht. He's got private airplanes. Freaking scumbags, dude. We don't want your damn money. What else here? All right. Anything else on your guys' mind here? Freaking y'all kiss my big fat behind. Yeah. SPIA. What do you mean? SPIA is a single premium income annuity? You knew that, though, didn't you? 100%. Government pays single women to keep the father out of the house. Absolutely. Not solvable easily. There's zero. What I'm saying, you got to make it more sigma. The family unit is the basic building unit of self-governance, 100%. Which is why the Marxists at BLM wanted to destroy the nuclear family. I still have people on my own YouTube channel say, no, they didn't say that. I'm like, you freaking idiots. Yes, they did. They took it away from their website, but I'm not even sure if it's still on the Wayback Machine because Wayback Machine is run by corrupt people too. But there was one guy who took a screenshot. I forgot his name, but I saw it the other day. I said, I'm glad now I can't remember what it was. BLM said, we want to destroy the nuclear family. BLM is funded by whom? Poor black people or rich New York City urbanites? You want to take a wild guess? It's freaking evil. And if the facts are, though, as there's nothing we white people can do about it other than say, hold tight, say no. It's not acceptable for this kind of behavior. It's not acceptable for that stupid music. And look, they'll say, well, white, I get it, 100%. We can have a discussion about whites too. I get that, 100%. There's a lot of scumbag whites out there as well. Scumbags, everybody. But the problem is right now, we don't have massive whites being shot in the street as we do for blacks. That's just a fact. And the reason is it's simple fatherless societies. That's just all it comes down to. And you can disagree to your heart's content. I don't care. You call me racist. I don't care. It's not racist at all. It's actually love of my neighbor, of the persons, all these people getting shot in the street. And I just say again, Hadiya Pendleton. Just look her up. Hidiya, Hadiya Pendleton. She sung the national anthem at Obama's inauguration and was shot down in the street because some clowns got offended. And that's not acceptable behavior. But no one cares because there wasn't a white perp. It was a white perp, everyone would care. It's so freaking crazy, dude. It just, yeah, BLM's gone now, 100%. Oh, but they'll be back in a different iteration. It's, there'll be the National Action Network from Clown Sharpton. Two-parent households work. 100%. Breakdown of the nuclear family combined with massive drug problem is devastating the country. It's devastating the country that is being devastated, but not all the country is. That's the issue. In fact, Charles Murray had written a book about this, basically saying, but he was even saying about whites too. And one of the reasons I don't agree with the IQ stupid, and I get Charles Murray, the bell curve, and everyone hates Charles Murray for that. I don't agree at all that there's genetic superiority in your ability to take a test. I think that's silly. But be it as it may, Charles Murray had written a book talking about the culture breaking up, which talks about the whites. Literally talk about the poor whites in particular, that they are now following the mode of the majority blacks. The poor whites are following that same thing. Young girls having babies, no stigma, and yet a good amount of whites aren't doing that. And as such, you have this two bifurcated society, in which you have whites who stay around to raise their children. And then you have whites who aren't staying around to raise their children, the husbands. As such, we have a society that's collapsing even in the white community. And what's going to happen? We can see what's going to happen. Just look at the black community. Sad, disgusting. Oh yeah, dude. BLM, Antifa, UN agenda, anyone who's part of the UN. And again, if I was Trump or any Republican, say, man, get the UN out of here. We don't want. There's such an opportunity. All right. Oh my goodness, look at Bob. Oh boy, Bob. When I first started at Vanguard in 1998, April of 1998, I'll never forget. I keep that up there for a second. I will never forget this clown of a guy, a squirrely looking guy. And we're sitting in a conference room. You're studying to take our Series 6, which is so we can talk about mutual funds. And this squirrely looking guy came in and he was all pompous because he had his, not just Series 6, he had a Series 7. Oh my goodness, how impressive. Anyway, someone has said, he said, what's an IRA? And someone said, it's an individual retirement account. He goes, no, it's actually an individual retirement arrangement. And he was all cocky about it. I'll never forget that guy. I said, oh, are we doing this, dude? Not you, Bob. No one knows it's an individual retirement arrangement. I did not know that. Everyone thinks it's an individual retirement account. Thus, it's an individual retirement account. Get that, not you, Bob, but get that stick out of your ass and walk away. I didn't say that, of course. It was like, oh, I just could not take that guy seriously ever again after that because he was like all individual retirement arrangements. Like, ugh. Dude, I was so thankful I grew up in the 60s. I grew up in the 70s. I mean, again, Trump's the only alternative. Look, Jill, for some reason, thinks I'm like a Dem. I'm not, and I'm rooting for Trump 100%. I'm just not expecting anything. Why they name it that? Because idiots. They can't make anything easy. I mean, I'm still rooting for Trump, and I just told my wife this. Like, look, who else am I going to root for? DeSantis. I mean, DeSantis. He should not have listened to the big money guys. He shouldn't have. I would have. I mean, there's no one else. Vivek, come on. Vivek, Nikki Haley. I mean, there's no one else. It's Trump or bust. There's no other way around that. Will Trump change things? I doubt it. But it'll be fun. It'll be entertaining. And at least we'll go down swinging. And when I say go down, the country's not going to go down. I mean, it's going to ultimately go down, but it's not like, if we're all going to be marching and goose, that's all stupid. But with that said, at the end of the day, I want Trump to win simply because I completely disagree with that. Dude. I love my man, Jerome Powell. No, I want Mike Flynn as his VP. Yeah, I'm losing my appreciation for Ronnie Reagan there. I mean, some of the stuff that Reagan did was good, but I think he's gotten a lot more credit than he should have for a lot of things. And signing the Masoli-Simpson Amnesty Act, that just led to where we are today. There's just no other way around that. He should have known. He didn't. Anyway, I don't think it's going to be Newsom. I would not be shocked if it was Big Mike. You guys know who Big Mike is, right? Yeah, I want Flynn, 100%. I'd love to see. I don't want Vivek anywhere near that. I mean, look, I like how he talks, in terms. I mean, it's too shady for me, but I like. That's basically what I'm looking for. More than I'm not expecting anything from these guys, but I'd love to see heads explode. I'd love to see a few more blacks come to the Republican Party just to make the Democrats, because the Democrats are evil. Republicans are stupid and they're greedy, but the Democrats are evil. Oh, dude, I go for Vanguard 100% of the time. Guitarza, or Guitar 2A. Can't see what that says. Yeah, Vanguard, dude. No John Hancock. Vanguard for me, baby. Big Mike. Y'all know who Big Mike is, right? Hey, thanks, Robert. I love Michigan. I'm looking for that dog. Oh, I love puppies. Fox sucks. I cannot stand. Nikki Haley, please, for the love of God. All right, my friends, let's get out of here and go watch another episode of. There you go. Yeah, look at my man. They wouldn't issue it now on me. My man Andrew said, try to get a long-term care hybrid life annuity a couple years ago to drop the one we have with my wife, use that cash and money elsewhere. They wouldn't issue it now on me. Yeah, so again, as you get older, it's hard to get insurance. You get insurance when you don't need it. That's true. Trump did get out of the 100%. Well, I mean, look, dude. I still like about Trump, but I don't think that he's. I don't think that. I'm not expecting much. So let's just put it that way. Look, I'm from Maine, dude. When you're from Maine and you're a freaking Boston sports fan, I know, I get it. The 2000s, the Bruins won a cup. They went to two others, and one went to Game 7, one went to Game 6. So they should have won Game 6 against the Blackhawks. The Patriots won 6 Super Bowls or something like that. The Red Sox won a couple championships. I don't really care about the Celtics, but I get it. But when I was growing up, all those teams sucked except for the Celtics, and I hated the Celtics. I always liked the Lakers. So the Patriots, they beat Miami in 1985 AFC Championship. They went down there with Craig, drawing blank, man. Craig, you know what I'm saying? He used to be announcer for ESPN. Craig James. And they ran the ball over the Dolphins, and they played the Bears. I always liked the Bears. I loved Walter Payton, and the Bears put a whipping on us because Stanley Morgan dropped his pass over the middle. We could have got a touchdown. Who knows? Anyway, long story short, and then the Red Sox in 1986, the Red Sox in 1978, the Red Sox, and then they played a couple in the playoffs in the late 90s. Just could never seal the deal, man. And then the Bruins, they went to the Stanley Cup against the Oilers twice, if memory serves. I think so. And they lost both, and that was it. And then 2000 comes around, and touchdown Tommy out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? I was like, holy crap. Anyway, all right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It'd just be fun to watch. And Trump is giving a speech on the Republican debate. How awesome is that? And Trump is going to go talk to the UAW people. I mean, it's cool. I like it. Trump's good at politicking. That's all there is to it, and I think it's fun. Again, do I expect much? No, but I think it's fun, man. So Biden will probably choose. Nikki Haley, the worst. Oh, she's literally the worst, dude. Bubba Wallace, we're not. When the Bubba Wallace had the noose in his thing, we're not gonna take it, white supremacists. We're not gonna take it. Oh God. Yeah, dude, 100%, man, 100%. All right, John, you're gonna have to go back and watch the video, dog. Come on, John. You have to go back and watch because we answered that many moons ago. All right, I'm gonna get out of here. God bless. Want to join my locals channel? We'll be live on Wednesday. I'll have some ideas to talk about, but we'll talk about stuff. So God bless Kristi Noem, best looking governor. Yeah, she's pretty smoking hot, isn't she? Dude, what the hell's up with freaking Lauren Barber, whatever her name is? What the hell? It's just, come on, man. Oh, just stop. Ugh. Oh, okay. You take the pension there, John. All right, so you're here, John Porter. In that case, I mean, she's not going to do it, but she definitely should take the pension. Thanks, Ron. Dude, don't tell anybody, Ron. You can see too far. All right, we're out of here. See you guys.